Okay, hear me out. So I know everyone read the title of the video and is probably thinking, what is Josh doing? What's he thinking? Well, it's all part of the plan, man. You guys know I am an absolute E34 junkie, and that doesn't necessarily justify what was done here, but we'll go along and it'll maybe make sense, and you guys can let me know what you guys think about what I've done. But basically, yeah, I have traded my M60B44 E31 for a totaled 535 and a rusty 540 6-speed. So this is an HE53 car. My first HE53 car. Everyone always said, get an HE53, get an HE53. I finally got one. Not quite the one I've dreamed of, but nonetheless, it is an HE53. And this was basically a supplemental, hey, take it with the car. So the story is, shout out to TJ and Matt, awesome guys. TJ was a viewer of the channel, and he saw my E31 on Marketplace, and he reached out to me and he said, hey, I know you're an E34 guy. Do you have any interest in 2 E34s and some cash for your E31? And I didn't want to do trades. I never really do want to do trades. I'm more of a, when it's time for me to sell a car, it's time for me to sell a car, right? It's because I want the space, I want the money, whatever. And the E31, I know a lot of people wanted me to keep it, but I just I couldn't get there with that car. It's just not me. I don't really want a Grand Tour BMW. I like my sporty, fun, loud, obnoxious, so be it, right? So it was just too not what I'm looking for at the moment. I had my fun, I did the build, I didn't want to go any more into it. And he said, are you interested in 2 E34s? And initially I'm like, eh. And then I read HE53, and I actually thought I read 535 manual, and that's kind of why we worked out the deal. Had I known it was auto, I would have probably been a little bit more but nonetheless, there was not really any interest in the E31. I kind of just wanted it gone. So I said, you know what? Come see the E31 if you like it. He sent me pictures of these, and I knew what I was to expect. And I said, whatever, man. I threw him out a number. I said, if you want to add this and you're happy with the E31, we'll do it. Fast forward, and the deal is done. And they were awesome, welcomed me into their house, me and my dad, and we hung out for a while, had a couple beers, and it was just an overall very pleasant experience. They were local. I'm sure they'll be watching this video. Matt's gonna be seeing his old 540 here in my hands, and he'll probably be thinking, what's this guy gonna do with it, right? Because I told him, I said, well, preliminary plans are this. Parts car, undeniably a parts car, and I'll show you guys why. I know I fixed crashed E34s before. This one can't be fixed, and you'll see that in a second. But with this car, I told him I want to fix it because I think this is a car that deserves saving. I think it still has a lot of life left in it. It's just had a little bit of a rough go at things. So I'm gonna take you guys in. We're gonna look through both the cars really quick, and I guess introduce you to my new 540 6-speed project, because I'm just a sick man, and having a finished, completed project that runs and drives and looks good wasn't good enough for me. I had to just throw in more projects for myself, because why not? So let's look through the cars, see what we got, and talk about what we're gonna do. So let's just get this one out of the way, because everyone's probably wondering what the hell. So this is a 1989 535 automatic. Both cars are black. This is honestly kind of our donor car for this, so that's the nice part here, and you'll see why I say donor car. But this car has like 107,000 miles. It's a really low mileage car, but anyway, some kid crashed it, and I guess it wasn't mobile. I think like the fender kind of went into the tire or something, and I guess his dad or his grandfather or someone was just kind of like, we got to get this thing out of here. He was pissed off, and he just cut everything to make it work, right? So the hood's cut away, which is not a big deal, but he chopped away, part of the chassis here, part of the frame, right? This is your fender wing, which is supposed to come out to here. That's cut away, so it's not a car that I can do the old tree method with that tree and fix. This car is pretty much gone. Core support's cut. That frame rail is actually notched in, so it was a pretty decent accident, because I've had a few of these wrecked and never are the frame rails cocked, but this car, this wheel's all offset, the suspension's all busted up. You can see how that wheel's turned and how that one's turned. That one's turned a lot more. This wheel's a little bit goofed up. But otherwise, it's a rust-free 535, which is, it is sad. Schwartz, obviously, and then silver interior. Not light silver, but like that gray two-tone dash. Gave me a Mustang set of manifold because it's actually very similar to an M61. And he said if you ever want to make those work together, so be it. I got a lot of spare parts with these cars. I'll flash a picture of me and how many of my buddies got on this roof, so the hood. So it's a little bit caved in, but it was garbage anyway. Came with 2 front bumpers, came with a white trunk lid, came with 2 spare Mishimoto 540 radiators, spare headlights, tail lights, a lot of like random stuff. But this is just our donor, which is half decent car aside from the accident. I just realized I forgot to show you guys the B35. So there's our, gaping crater. Radiator survived. There's our B35 with only 109,000 miles or so. Once upon a time when I was building the E28, couldn't find any B35s, and I paid a tremendous amount of money for one. And now I'm sitting on 2, and no one wants them. No one wants to pay anything more than an insanely low dollar amount. So just throw this in the storage unit. But check that out. It's got the heater valve cover. That is rare. So I'm gonna take those grommets and that cover and throw it in my S52 car because I don't even have that cover on that thing. So, and it's got the cover right there. Nice car, sad fate, but obviously you guys know me. These parts are gonna make another car a lot nicer. So, but now into the car that we care about, and that is this rusty, crusty 540. And just a quick pan will tell you guys everything you need to know about what I mean when I say rusty and crusty. Like, oh my goodness, it's not good. So this car was TJ's son's college slash, I guess the college into later on. This was his BMW, and it was a daily driver. He bought it from a pilot who daily drove this thing from Wisconsin to O'Hare Airport. If you're from Chicago, you know O'Hare Airport. And this was his daily. And the Midwest winters have absolutely taken their toll on this car. You can see we got some rock chips that have turned rusty on the hood. Fenders are clean. This is atrocious. I've never seen it that bad. Doors are badly rusted. But what's interesting, and the trunk. I think you guys already got a glimpse of the trunk. It is nasty. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a car this bad. But what's really weird about this, and the rear bumper's faded and also cracked, and you guys probably can't see it. Like that strap looks pretty bad, but let's see, the lighting might not be there. But what's interesting about this car, and this is interesting about E34s in general, despite how absolutely rotted a lot of these panels are, the body itself, the chassis, is not that bad. There's no quarter panel rust, like on the arches. They're not, the frame rails aren't rotted, the pinch welds aren't rotted. There's definitely some surface rust, but I haven't looked at it on the lift, I've only glanced. But that's the fun thing about E34s is these doors with the stupid trim design, these doors will outrust anything else on the car. And I think that's really what happened to this car. He hit something with that fender. Interesting enough, you guys are probably wondering what's up with this front bumper. It's a stock front bumper with another E34's lower part of the bumper, like the lip, glued together. So it's basically 2 lips combined, and it actually made it to be a pretty sweet looking lip. If it was painted better, it would actually be like pretty rad. I actually kind of like it. This headlight's beat up. I got spare headlights for it. But basically the intentions for him were 535 is going to be this car's donor, swapping over the sunroof panel, the trunk, the doors, the bumper, kind of whatever you need. The problem is that's an early car, so the doors don't have the same trim, and the door handles and locking mechanisms are all different. So I'm not sure I'm gonna use these doors, especially because this side of the car was repainted really badly. Probably hard to tell in this lighting, but these doors in my mind are not something I'd care to swap. So I'm gonna try to get my hands on some doors. But basically this car, I haven't even showed you guys the best parts. Obviously it's an HE53, so we have sport seats, black interior, really clean. That seat has one small little tear right there and a little bit of wear, but really clean sports seats, really nice black interior. This is, I'm technically the third owner of this car. We got the 540 owner's audio program, which is absolutely awesome. 6-speed manual. This car has 191,000 miles, or 192,000 miles. And honestly, it drives fantastic. It runs fantastic, and it's just had a new clutch. He just put new shocks and springs on it. Did a decent amount of maintenance on the thing. I have a trunk full of spare parts. We got the beauty cover, a spare clutch fan. I actually have brand new, it may not be these, I'm not sure what these are. Maybe that's them, maybe it's not, but brand new gas tank straps actually for this thing. He said they were like 500 bucks. So that is, you know, crazy, right? Fresh gas tank straps, you don't have to worry about the gas tank falling out. We got regulators, tail lights, looks like a cluster right there. Intake boots, modules, you know, a bunch of E34 stuff that he gave me. And there was some spare belts right there. So this is, I think, a really attractive car for a fun little fixer-upper project. And as long as I can source the parts and no one like really wants this and like, you know, buys it out from under me, I think we can have a pretty cool little project on the channel. Just basically de-rusting it and making it a presentable 540, because like I said, it's all there. It just needs these rusty panels replaced. Nothing on the body that's not swappable is rusty. Like the quarters are good, the roof is good. It's just all the swappable panels. There's the B40 right there. Thing runs great. He once upon a time tried to paint the valve covers and the paint kind of flaked off right away. E-fan conversion, a couple other odds and ends. I think it's got like a chip, but it was some like weird chip and it caused a check engine light. But listen to this thing. So this car has it has stock cats. Okay, let's get the beeping. It has stock cats. Okay, please stop beeping. So this car has stock cats and I believe a muffler delete, but like aftermarket resonator. I can't remember what brand he was saying. I have to really just get underneath it and look. But preemptively, it seems though this thing sounds great. I mean, it sounds sweet. So whatever the muffler setup is on this car is badass. We'll go for our first drives together, our first HE53 experience in another episode. This is just the intro, but also he's got what I think is a short shifter, so it just shifts beautifully. There's not any play. It has all of its gears. I've never had a 6-speed E34, so this is pretty sweet. Traction control light is on, not a big deal. And like I said, the check engine light's on from the, whatchamacallit, the chip. Stock radio works. It's got heat. AC is not cold. Stock owner's manual. Headliner is really mint condition. And like I just said, I mean, the interior is just overall really nice. So it's even got a coin tray, which is sweet. And you know, 95, so it's got the nice door panels. It's just overall a really nice car. There's the engine. I mean, smooth and quiet. Like there is absolutely no ticks. Like this is a really nice running M60, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I've had my fair share of a couple V8s, and this is honestly sounds like one of the quietest, like smoothest running V8s I've ever touched. So that's really cool. I mean, it's well maintained. It's got, I would say, desirable kind of upgrades to suspension and stuff. So I think this is a car worth saving. And you guys may or may not know if you follow the E34 market, but an HE53 car, you know, in decent shape, they're worth a decent amount of money. I mean, nice ones are worth a really good amount of money. Something like this that's obviously going to be kind of panel swapped and, you know, rustier underneath than a, you know, a California car. It's not going to be worth a fortune, but I think that I can get this thing kind of nice, and someone that's been looking for a nice 540 6-speed at an affordable price is going to be able to get into this and enjoy the hell out of this thing, because it's too good of a car to condemn. I think it needs a lot more life to be lived. It's only got 192K. No reason that this car should should see the boneyard. So I have, from this right off the bat, a sunroof panel, I have a trunk panel, I have a rear bumper. Like I said, the doors are questionable. I got a perfect driver's side fender, so that is good right there. Passenger fender on this car is perfectly fine. Front bumper is good, but I also have a spare black bumper now, so if I want to run that lip or not, I could change up the bumper. Tires are good, wheels are good, suspension's all pretty much done. We got gas tank straps. I think there's a lot of room here to make this thing a pretty decent car. I mean, just swapping the trunk is already going to transform the thing. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have a cool, fun little video of just basically swapping all the panels and just a little transformation video, seeing how nice we can get this thing looking. I think we can get it looking pretty nice because, I mean, just look at it from here. It's a nice looking car. It's got a nice stance to it. Just got to get rid of the rusty doors, man, and the damaged fender, and it's going to look like $1 million. There we have it. That's a trip into my brain, what I was thinking with this. You guys may think I'm crazy, you may think I'm not crazy, but at the end of the day, I felt confident in my decision, and I just want content for you guys. I do all this for content, right? Well, no, I don't. I do it for myself, but when there's more of the questionable things, I justify it with content because I know that, okay, you know, these don't equal a nice E31 with a fresh engine build, but I know that this will get us even more content. So you guys get to see me panel swapping this and showing you guys all those little ins and outs. And we get to go on our HE53 drive together, and just another car, another journey. I like to flow through cars, man. I don't like being stagnant. Sitting on an 8 Series for multiple months was kind of driving me crazy. I saw my way to get into things that I'm a little bit more familiar with, and honestly cars that I just prefer, and I took that opportunity. So this will be a part out. You guys won't see this again on the channel. If you need E34 parts, you guys know where to find me, email me, whatever, Instagram. This thing, stay tuned because we got a couple of videos to make with this thing. So I'm excited to dive into it. Never had an HE53 car. We'll talk about my initial impressions, driving it, and all that stuff in the next episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Feels good being out here in shorts and a t-shirt again. That's all I can say. So, and we got to announce the car that's back there, which is a whole nother crazy story. I just went crazy yesterday. 3 cars for 1 I brought home. So we'll hear all about that in another episode. But thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.